It's Red Eye Radio. Gary McNamara and Eric Harley talk about everything from politics to social issues and news of the day. Whether you're up late or you're just starting your day, welcome to the show. From the Uniden America Studios, this is Red Eye Radio.
All across America, we are Red Eye Radio. I'm Gary McNamara. He's Eric Harley. Oh, man.
What?
I just saw this. I saw the story yesterday.
Yeah.
I haven't heard it yet, but let me just read this.
Okay.
Bruce Springsteen released a new song, Streets of Minneapolis.
Okay.
In response to two fatal shootings by federal immigration enforcement agents
I better write a
in the
song.
city.
I better write a song, Gary.
Springsteen dedicated
write a song about Minneapolis.
the song to the people of Minneapolis.
I'm from Jersey, but I'm going to write a song about Minneapolis.
Our innocent, hang on a second here. Our innocent immigrant neighbors, and in memory of Alex Pretti and Renee Good.
Our innocent immigrant neighbors are fine. The criminal element of the illegal immigrants are not.
I didn't know that part. Nobody told me about that part. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, we all needed Bruce to chime in on this whole thing, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's like everybody, the anticipation was extremely great.
And I forget who it was. Was it Todd? I think it was Todd Rundgren in an interview on a podcast. Was it last year? I think it was last year sometime. Talked about what drove him to do this one project. And he said because he saw Springsteen, and he goes, I was thinking, are we going back to the doo-wop days or what? I need to put something out that's, different than this. And I was like, wow, that's an interesting take. I never thought about that. But, the thing about this, and we see this Springsteen and, Neil Young. Neil Young has to be mortified that he didn't get a song about Minneapolis out.
No,
What?
the Neil Young thing.
What?
Where he has whatever on Spotify made it so the people of Greenland can listen to his music for free. That came out of.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Oh
right.
my gosh, these little things. I have to start jotting down all the little things because I'll forget them. There's so many other things going on, but that one, he just got roasted for that.
Yeah.
It's like, haven't the people of Greenland suffered enough?
What does that mean?
Haven't they suffered enough? They've suffered enough. They really don't need you to be saying that your music is free and should be played more in Greenland. Nobody gives a damn about Neil Young in Greenland.
The citizens of Greenland were like, who's Neil Young?
We're gonna be safe.
Is he in a boy band?
Hey, my, rock and roll will never die.
I'm going to save Greenland.
If it sounds like that, it's gonna die really quick.
I'm going to save the world. I'm going to save society.
You sound pretty angry there. For someone who's so angry all the time, when he sings, he sounds the opposite of angry.
It's like whining.
Yeah. He's more Elizabeth Warren when he sings. It's kind of like when Mel Tillis, when he talked, he had a stuttering disability, but when he sang, he didn't. So when Neil Young talks, he's angry, but when he sings, he sounds
like
whiny.
Elizabeth Warren.
Like Elizabeth Warren.
Like that. That's fantastic.
No more billionaires.
Neil? Aren't you kind of on your way to being a billionaire? Where are you going to draw that line? Are you handing out money?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't at one time, I forgot the name of the band, because I always found it interesting. Neil Young, Rick James, and John Kay of Steppenwolf all sang in the same band, or we're all in the same band in Canada at one point.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah. It was, I forgot the name of the band.
I liked it when it was Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Nope. That's it. Well, what about Nope? It's Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
So those are our two favorite musical stories of the week. I mean, Neil Young just got eviscerated on social media about how dare you do that to the people of Greenland. I'm going to make sure that I allow my music to be listened to for free in Greenland.
That's going to solve all the problems in Greenland. It's free Neil Young music.
Oh, and then Bruce Springsteen. It's just like, my God. As we've said, you can go point by point by point on all of this, and the left has 0 points.
Yeah.
They have 0 points.
No,
the only point, Bruce Springsteen, by coming out and saying what he's just in that little press release, he's enabling the absolute rot of the lies that are coming out from the left on this. Yeah. Everything is all part of democracy in action, and we need to keep emphasizing over and over again, the left is projecting because what they're saying is not true. They're the ones who are promoting fascism. They're the ones who are promoting the narrative of Nazism, of the Gestapo, because what they're saying is the laws of the American people do not matter, to the point where we'll lie about it, and those that wish to promote democracy, we will label as fascist and Nazis.
Yep. That's where we are.
And you notice
because here's the thing. Leveraging the death of Pretti and Good in order to get a greater position in this delusional thought that ICE is the Gestapo.
Right.
Taking, just like the Gestapo did, people who they didn't want in their community off the streets. That's where, again, they'll on their signs and everything else, and in the background, they'll use Pretti's death and Good's death as that leverage. But make no mistake, even without that, even without those shootings, it would still be the same. They're still calling for the same thing. A lawless society.
Right.
No law enforcement, no enforcement of the border. As some of them said this past weekend, no border.
Yep.
This is where they are as an organization, the left.
Well, I saw now, Minneapolis, they want to make this the focal point of the No Kings. The whole thing of No Kings, again, is completely and totally a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who participates in the No Kings protest are lying. Yeah. What you're saying is you don't like the laws that the elected representatives of we the people have created, and therefore you wish to stop them however you can by interfering with law enforcement, and you're calling that democracy when it's the opposite of democracy. You're attempting to stop the so-called, quote, democracy that you cherish so much. You're a bunch of BSers.
Yeah. Yep.
You're projecting every single day. What you claim the other side is what you are.
Antifa.
Yeah.
These were fascists against fascism.
Right.
These are violent individuals who are proud of their violent mindset.
And Bruce Springsteen, by doing this, just is showing how anti-democratic he is.
Yep.
He is not pro-democracy. Anyone who's participating in the No Kings protest, it's ridiculous. You're the ones that wish to have a king.
Yep.
Or, not to make this gender specific in the 2024, queen.
Yeah.
You weren't complaining when the Democrats threw democracy out the window. Let's appoint who we want.
Right.
You didn't care.
Right.
And I still believe that, number one, Republicans should be pounding on this harder. Number two, I was watching some of Scott Jennings, the last couple of days, and we had mentioned this. If you see Scott Jennings, for example, and he can have some great moments, but the fact is, you've got people arguing with him that won't let him complete a sentence, and that's why I like doing what we do here.
Mm.
Conservatives should have their platforms where they go into specific details and say, "This is what we believe. This is what we believe." Nobody can put words in our mouth. And that all started with, with the thing, not all started with, but it continued yesterday when I saw the video of Pretti from 13 days or 14 days ago, whenever it was. And I think it was Scott Jennings who was bringing it up and said, well, just because he did that, you believe that justified his murder? He never said that. They're trying to deflect constantly because if you stay on topic on this, there's no way they can win.
Right.
You expose them for what they are. They're a bunch of liars. They don't believe in democracy. They don't believe in the system of government and the system, the Constitution of the United States, which promotes a representative government of we the people. They don't want it. They simply they're the fascists. They are the ones that promote the Nazi narrative by saying we are going to do everything we can to have violence on the streets because we don't like the system of government where the elected representatives of the people make the law. We want to make the law the way that we want the law, and we don't want any other input except what we want and we want now.
Yep. And again, ultimately a lawless society.
Yeah.
If you're against enforcing immigration law, you're against enforcing a number of laws. Then where do you pick and choose? Where do you draw the line?
Now, if you wish to say that I believe a law is unjust,
there's ways to change it.
Then you go through the process of changing it. If you believe a law is unconstitutional, you have courts, you have recourse. You don't get to take the law into your own hands, and you don't get. And it's interesting because we'll play a couple of clips from that the nurse, the other day. But, her whole thing is we need to commit crimes against law enforcement.
Yeah.
Is what she was stating.
Right.
And why she got fired. And she said it so publicly. That's the incredible thing. It was so public.
Yeah.
It was so absolutely public that this is what I want. This is what, almost like Jay Inslee talking about the fact that we can't have ICE anywhere near polling stations because they need illegal immigrants to vote. It's like, are you listening to what you're saying? But they're public about it now. They actually they actually believe they live in this liberal bubble. The one nurse, what is it, Melinda, I guess her name was. I don't know, can't remember her last name. But it's like, does she not know as a medical professional, a healthcare worker at VCU Health? And she posted the videos encouraging people to inject ICE agents.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
with a temporary paralysis drug and spray poison on them.
Right.
She encourages women to go on dates with agents and drug their food.
Right. Find out where these agents are and get on the dating apps.
Yeah.
And go on dates with them so you can drug their food. Or who's feeding them? Somebody has to be feeding them while they're in town. This is who they are. This is extremely dangerous cultural mindset. It has you trusting no one, quite frankly.
Well, what kind of care would an agent have gotten?
Right.
In Pretti's ICU.
Right.
Got to add that question.
You have to ask
people's
questions.
mind. Yep. Same with this woman here.
Right.
The whole point is you don't care. You treat human beings.
You do the job.
Yeah. We are Red Eye Radio.
Brought to you by FPPF, Fuel Power Max.
Surviving and thriving as an owner-operator has just as much to do with managing costs as it does with generating revenue. Understanding basic principles of operating costs can save you thousands of dollars a year. Costs are not the same each month. If 9,600 miles are driven one month and 10,000 miles the next, two different sets of costs apply for each month. For example, if your tractor payment is $1,850 per month and you drive 9,600 miles in the month, your tractor payment is costing you 19.3 cents per mile. Drive 10,000 miles, though, and that same payment will cost you 18.5 cents per mile. This is one of your major fixed costs while paying off a truck loan. The difference in this example is only a fraction of a cent, which may seem like small change, but it ultimately amounts to $960 more annually on the bottom line. Because though fixed costs do not go down over time, you can reduce your cost per mile with more paid miles. Owner-Operator Business 101 is provided by Overdrive's Partners in Business program. Go to overdriveonline.com to the Partners in Business section of the website for more details on this and many other topics. Brought to you by Shell Rotella, with advanced synthetic technology is designed to help keep your rig running with more mileage and less maintenance.
Get in touch with Red Eye Radio, toll free at 866-90-RED-EYE.
We are Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Good morning. All right, we never got to play any of the audio from the nurse, a healthcare worker at VCU Health, who posted a series of videos encouraging people to inject ice agents with different substances and spray poison at them. She was fired from her job.
Right.
But here's part of it. Here we go.
I thought of something good. I think it's something weird spot. Sabotage tactic, or at least scare tactic. All the medical providers, grab some syringes with needles on the end. Have them full of saline or succinylcholine, whatever. That will probably be a deterrent. Be safe. Okay, for today's resistance tip, I vote, anybody got any poison ivy, poison oak in their yard? Get some of that up with gloves, obviously. Get it in some water, like a gallon of water. Get the poison ivy oak water, and I'm gonna put it into a water gun. Aim for faces, hands.
And she continues going on. She starts cursing, so we can't play that part of it. But she was talking about using a saline along with a temporary paralysis drug and injecting it into agents, spraying, the poison at them, encouraging women to go on dates with agents and drug their food.
Right.
Really, I mean, when you think about it, and this is something that you and I had talked about before, where they lose us is, number one, talking about criminal acts publicly.
Yeah.
And seeming to have no fear, because this is a series of videos. This wasn't just one video she did.
Right.
It's a series of videos that she was saying, this is what we need to do as a resistance. And it looks like she's at work.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like she's dressed in, the medical stuff. She had, the cap on.
Mm-hmm.
She had something, scrubs, whatever she had around her neck, a medical device. I don't know what it was precisely.
Yeah.
And so she's letting you know, basically I'm a nurse, I'm a healthcare professional, and I'm telling you as a healthcare professional how to make somebody sick. How to break the law, how to commit assault.
Yeah. She should never be allowed to be a nurse anywhere again.
How to commit felony assault is what she's talking about.
That's right.
And it's okay with her.
On our website, RedEyeRadioshow.com. Show info with stations, podcasts, and more. Red Eye Radio.
And he is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Welcome and good morning. Thanks so much for being here. Download our Red Eye Radio app today, and you can listen when and where you choose. So that healthcare worker at VCU Health who got fired, and we just played part of the audio there, where she posted a series of videos encouraging people to inject ice agents with a temporary paralysis drug, spray poison on them, encourages women to go on dates with agents, and drug their foods. Excuse me, their food. And you think about it and you just say, she had no problem doing a multiple number of videos out there that she was apparently putting on social media. She had no fear for her job.
Nope.
She thought it was fine to do something like that.
She thinks she's a hero.
Yeah. And so when you see stuff like that, you're just like, wow, they feel so comfortable. The bubble that they're in, there is a total permission structure that this is what we should be doing, and it's normal.
Yep.
It's normal.
Yep.
I'm in the medical profession, and I'm telling you it's normal to poison people, to commit felony assault and poison people that I disagree with philosophically.
Right.
And then when you and I talked about whether it was good or pretty or whatever, the fact of the belief that it is okay to obstruct law enforcement when they're going about their job, where the hell does that come from? How did that all of a sudden become completely and totally acceptable? I don't like the law, therefore I can obstruct, I can commit acts of violence and vandalism.
Yep.
Where did this come from?
Right. No, they really do believe they've been given not only permission, but a mandate. And what you hear is this nurse telling other people, this is what you do. What would she tell other nurses, other professional caretakers? You learn somebody is of the opposite political view and supports Trump. What do you do with that person? Someone comes in and they're having some kind of medical emergency and they're a federal agent. What do you do with that person? Because if you felt that it was okay to put it on social media and promote it this way, you believed you were doing the right thing, that you
are moral.
Were a hero and you have the higher moral ground. So what would she be telling people that work in her field? Somebody comes in having a heart attack with a MAGA hat on. What do you do with that one?
Yeah. Is any hospital comfortable with that?
I'm telling you right now, I'm not comfortable trusting anyone fully on anything. And I've been that way my whole life. She made it so much worse.
And they justify all of this based on the belief that the people they're going against are like Nazis who would, because remember the whole, as we always said, calling somebody a Nazi means you believe that they will execute 6 million people.
Right. If you say Trump is Hitler.
Right. That's what you're saying.
That's what you're saying.
That's the point you're communicating with, to me.
Right.
You're not saying, I don't like Trump because he's too much like Nixon.
Right. I don't like his policies. They're not saying that.
Right. What they're saying is these people will murder millions of people.
That's right. That their intention is to murder millions of people.
That's their intention, and they don't believe in a democracy, and they wish to murder people.
Right.
It's a complete lie. It's the opposite of that. It's the complete opposite. 180 degrees. They don't care.
Right.
And so when you see this, and when you see the willingness to obstruct law enforcement, it's now become pathological on the left to the point where you have major politicians enabling that mindset and promoting that mindset. Governor Walz wants violence in the streets.
Right.
Jacob Frey wants violence in the streets.
Right.
Otherwise, you say, look, if they came out and said, look, we disagree with this law is wrong. And so, we believe that there should be acts of civil disobedience against an unjust law. Civil disobedience is not obstructing law enforcement during an arrest. It may be a sit-down where they have to pick you up and drag you off. That's civil disobedience.
Well,
civil disobedience is not actively fighting with law enforcement or attempting to vandalize law enforcement. That's not civil disobedience.
No.
They've even changed the rules on that. It's not where we're sitting down here in front of the police station and we're not going to move.
Well, this is a type of indoctrination that the left has been using for quite some time. It goes far beyond the get out the vote. Go vote. No, you've got to include violence. You've got to be a hero. They want you to come off as a hero. If you're doing this, if we create demons on the street in these ICE agents, that means you're going to be a demon slayer. You're going to be a hero. The first part is critical. You must believe they are unlawful, working for an unlawful president, and then beyond that, you must take action. And this is what they're encouraging. And as you point out, and it is important to point it out, he is the governor of Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Encouraging this kind of behavior is what gets people killed.
Mm-hmm. And I believe I don't know if they want the deaths, they want the violence. And if you have violence and you have people obstructing law enforcement, there's a great chance, because we've seen it, that these kinds of incidents are going to happen.
Right. And the thought is, too, if you disagree with them, and we've seen this in the past, in recent years, if you disagree with the mob, they're coming after you. Demonstrate how angry you are all the time. Top-notch, over-the-top level of insanity. And don't forget to possibly include violence and force. You do that, you become the mob. Everybody else feels intimidated by the mob. Remember the one city councilwoman who said, I have to vote this way. This goes back to Wisconsin. Well, I have to vote this way because the mob knows where I live.
That was Minneapolis.
Was it Minneapolis?
It was Minneapolis, yeah.
I have to vote this way. Yeah, that's right, it was.
Because the mob will come after me.
Because the mob will come after me.
If I don't vote this way, yep.
She said it out loud at the city council meeting.
Yeah.
Isn't how I feel. But they know where I live. And that's what they want you to this is how they want you to feel. If you don't do what they want, and you may feel the same, well, I'm with them, we shouldn't be, enforcing the border or whatever. You may be politically on their side, but silence is violence. If you don't show that, the mob is coming after you. You're going to have to be part of this. This is the tactic. This is what they're trying to achieve. Again, a massive mob rules. You talk about fascism. When you have elected people in office, elected officials encouraging this and doing what Governor Walz is doing, again, they're screaming fascism when they point at Trump.
And they're the fascists.
They're the ones doing it.
Yeah.
They're the ones in practice who are doing it every day.
And what do we mean? They're encouraging people to commit violence and using rhetoric that the other side is comparable to the Gestapo, to Nazis, to fascists, when they're simply enforcing the law of we the people of the United States.
Yep.
So by doing so, that's what makes them fascist, because they want the democracy gone.
Yep.
They don't like the Democrat rule.
Right.
They don't like it. They don't like democracy. They don't like, and I'm putting the constitutional republic under the umbrella of a general democracy.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like it. They just want what they want, and they want it now. And if they don't get it, well, then they'll encourage violence against legitimate law enforcement and legitimate laws created by the elected representatives of we the people.
While they scream Trump is a threat to democracy.
Yes. And finally, a new poll out. 2/3 of U.S. voters and a plurality of those who back Kamala Harris oppose allowing biological men to compete in women's sports. The Economist YouGov poll conducted between January 23rd and the 26th found 43% of Kamala Harris's voters oppose allowing biological men to compete in women's sports, compared to just 39% who support it. Overall, 67% of voters oppose the policy, while just 22% support it.
Ms. Harris responded to the results of the poll by saying, 2/3, that's not even half.
Yeah. Well, they talk about how the results come after Axios asked all the leading 2028 Democratic presidential hopefuls the basic question, should transgender girls be able to participate in girls' sports? And they asked all the questions. 20 Democrats declined to comment. You only had 3 who commented, and only 1, and that was Rahm Emanuel, who said no. Only 1. As we've said, it's 99.9% of the Democratic Party is all for this insanity of the radical transgender movement.
And if Rahm Emanuel ever decides to actually jump in, I'd like to see him evolve, grapple. Remember the way his former boss did on gay marriage.
I do like in the polling, they or in the story, they say some Democratic commentators admonished potential candidates for dodging the question. Pathetic, said former CNN analyst Chris Cillizza. Take a position and just defend it. Democratic strategist Liam Kerr agreed, telling Axios, the candidates should have a clear answer, whatever it is.
They can't.
But you think about this, whether it's whether it's a critical race theory, whether it's the border, whether it's what's going on in Minneapolis, none of them will give a clear answer as to exactly what they want.
No, because they don't have conviction. And also because they've created a mob.
Well, they have conviction. They do believe that illegal immigrant criminals should be out on the street. They just don't know they can't sell that to the American public.
If you've got conviction, you have no problem in saying it. And they also know if they talk about what's feasible, what isn't, and talk the truth, the mob rules.
Well, to me, the conviction comes from the fact that they're willing to obstruct law enforcement.
Yeah, that's part of it.
But they still know they can't sell it. They're trying to sell it by putting fear into people that if you don't agree with us, we'll bring violence to your door.
Right.
The ultimate in fascist and Nazi tactics.
It's what they've done. They've created the monster.
We are Red Eye Radio.
We'll be right back with more Red Eye Radio with Eric Harley and Gary McNamara.
We are Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Whoa, what's going on at CBS? You know, they held that meeting and everything else. And then
telling you.
Barry Weiss coming out and saying for the evening news, buyouts for all the non-union people. Well, and they said, well, who's included in it? They said most everybody in the evening news is included in it. And, this thing will take place very quickly. I mean, it'll be done in 10 days if you want the buyout. And she actually said, look, this is a free country, and I completely agree. I completely respect if you decide I'm not the right leader for you, or this isn't the right place for you at the right time, which means, hey, Well,
if you don't like it.
I'll give you a nice buyout and
Yep.
Leave.
Right.
A lot of people don't like the direction of where their company's going. We're giving you the opportunity to leave. No problem, no cause, no big deal, whatever. I'm like, oh, my gosh. So they're going forward with it. Look, you and I said from the very beginning, you almost, in a situation like that where you have a culture of political activism, if you're going to become a company of journalists, you got to let most everybody go.
Yep, and it's going to take a while before you can fully populate that newsroom again, because that's going to be a real search for real journalists.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.